Alright, so yesterday when I was driving to the Homeless Despot to try to pick up some little terminals and some things I needed to hook up my generator, this thing developed a dead skip. And so rather than risk it, I just turned around and brought it back home and took the diesel. And now I've got some time. We're going to figure this thing out. I think I know what it is. We're going to see what we have to start with. Yep, she's not happy. Check engine light is on. We'll do a quick code read. P030X, which, if I'm not mistaken, is cylinder 6 Misfire. So we're gonna hook up my slightly more capable scan tool and see what it comes up with. Cylinder 6 misfire detected. Yep. See if there's anything pending. Nope. Okay. So we have a cylinder 6 misfire, which, back this out, give myself some little bit of room here. Cylinder 6 misfire, which it's not necessarily the end of the world on these things, and in my experience, that specific code is fairly reasonable. Because the majority of the time, if you have a single cylinder misfire, it's a coil pack. And let's see. Where are the bloody things? I think that one is number 6. Not the best location. The worst possible case is a cylinder 4 misfire, because that's the one that's all the way in the back there. And it is what it is. It could be an injector, but again, I've had this truck for 10 years. It's got 316,000 miles on it, and so far every single one of the individual cylinder misfire codes has turned out to be a coil. And as far as I am aware, I have never changed this one on number 6. I know I've done 5, I think I've done 7. I don't believe I've ever done 6. So we're going to take a few minutes, see what the easiest way to get at that thing is, and then go rob one off of my junk truck, swap it out, and see what we got. Now, the other thing I could do to test it is I could swap it between number 6 and number 5 and see if the misfire moves, which it most likely will. I may do that just for grins, but I'll probably take this thing down just to lay the power steering fluid reservoir out of the way. It'll open up a little bit of room, a little more room to work. So we'll see what our next step is in a minute. Okay, so we got the top cover off, and we got the bracket that mounts here with 2 8s and a 10, because of course. So now we've exposed a little bit more of these 2 coils. 4 is kind of weird. They count down the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And all you got is a little tiny 7mm screw holding that coil in. See the other one? And they will come out from underneath that fuel rail. You don't need to touch the fuel rail. So I think what I'm going to do is I am just going to pull the number 6 and change it to one from the other truck. And actually what I think I am going to do is I'm going to swap these. I am going to swap these around, because if I have trouble with the other truck, because who knows what condition those are in, this number 5 is a little easier to get to without having to jack around with all the other stuff. So I'm going to now pull the number 5 and number 6 coils, swap them around. These plugs just disconnect somehow. I'll have to figure that out. It's been a while since I've been in there. But yeah, they just pull off as a little connector. Is it underneath? Oh, there it is. Yeah, you got to squeeze the bottom. And then they just disconnect. There it goes. And that's pretty much it. That's the coil. Then one little 7mm screw, and it pulls straight up. And these here, they kind of bend over. You can sneak them out underneath the rail. So we're gonna try to get to that. There she goes. Okay, now they're both off. So we can get to the number 7, the little 7mm bolt in there. Probably gonna need about 4 extensions to do that. This one's a little easier. When you do that, you can pop them out. We're gonna swap them around and see if the fault moved. And as I expected, number 6 is original, or certainly not changed by me, because I put AutoZone specials in, which is what this number 5 is. A little bit different color, gray versus the black, and no distinguishing brand marks on it. So, I'm gonna flop these around now. Got them out. Thing you got to be real careful about with those screws is don't cross thread them when you put them back in, because they'll break off. Don't ask me how I know. So we're gonna snake number 5 here back down into number 6's hole. Maybe. Come on. There it goes. Alright, that's pretty good and snug. Now we're gonna have to get that bolt back in it. We're gonna put old number 6 into number 5's spot. There she goes. Try to get the screws in them, plug them in, and then we're gonna test. See if the fault moved to number 5. Alright, so they're back in. I didn't manage to not cross thread the screws. Got my old Motorcraft unit up in number 5 now. We're gonna go clear the codes, restart it, and see if the code comes back. So there's our current code. All right. She's definitely got a miss. We're going to take it out for a quick drive, unless that code fires, and then see what we end up with. But it's definitely unhappy, but we're going to hope at this point that it's moved up to number 5. Taking her a little while, but we got the pending code now. Blinky check engine. Definitely not happy. About the same as it was yesterday. Under any kind of load, it just misfires continuously. So let's see if we can do this. On code 0305. Bingo. So that tells me that coil's bad, so that's what we're going to change. Perfect. So we're going to limp this poor thing back home and slap a new coil in it and try it again. Alright, so now that we've confirmed that the coil that was on 6 and caused the 6 error code and now is on 5 and has caused a 5 error code, we've confirmed that coil is bad. So I'm going to run back to my junker and try to pick a random good one, hopefully one up front, maybe on number 1, because it's easy, although I may have already stolen that from the boy had his truck, but we'll have to see. And we're going to swap this out and see if our misfire goes away. Alright, so the one I grabbed off the other truck was pretty dirty, but it's not Ford, so it's been replaced at some point in the past. So we're going to hope that it's still good. The old Ford one is out, and it's windy today. But now we're going to go give it a startup and see what she sounds like. And we're back. So I'm going to erase the codes. We are not misfiring anymore. Simple as that. So, I'm going to erase the codes, put her back together, and wrap it up. Alright, so she's all back together. I'm going to take it for a quick ride just to confirm everything's good, but it's not misfiring at an idle and it revs up fine, so I'm thinking we're good. So, hope you all are doing well. I still really do appreciate everybody who watches these videos. And there will be a link to the coil if I can find one. I probably can. And maybe some 7mm little ratchets and extensions that you need to do this. I'll put that in my Amazon affiliates. I do appreciate the people who do use that. It supports the channel a little bit. So anyway, on this terribly windy day in South Louisiana, hope you're all doing well. Talk to you later.